After the two opening matches in Las Vegas, we are back in the Southern Hemisphere for the first match on Pacific soil, if you will, for the start of the 2026 NRL season, as we are here for the Melbourne Storm taking on the Parramatta Eels to kick off the rest of round one for the 2026 NRL season. A lot of off-field court drama, if you will, with the issuing of Zach Lomax, but we're going to have a very interesting match, to say the very least, as I have completely forgotten to set up a camera, so I'm just going to quickly do this as I keep going. I cannot believe that I've ignored that massive short sight. Just bear with me, but yeah, we've got a pretty interesting match here, to say the least. So initially we'll be going through quickly the team lists and going through the potential storylines, as we've got a half an hour before the start of this matchup. So if anybody's got any predictions, put them in the poll currently, as I keep trying to fix this camera situation. I actually cannot believe that we are at this point in time, so let's just get this camera up and rolling. There we go. Looks like we've got it all fixed out. Hello. Yeah, I completely forgot to put the camera on. That's actually really dumb from me. But everybody, welcome to this stream. It's very good. First to get back right into the NRL action. So we've of course got the poll. If you got any multis on, put them in the chat. We'll try to keep in track of them and see how they will all end out. So I was going to shout out Cumbria Mackham first in the chat. 6 votes currently in the poll. You've got Melbourne Storm with a 2/3 majority taking out the opening game of the Australian and the New Zealand leg of the season. Let's go, Jesse. The Storm never lose round one. That is true, and also the Storm always play the Parramatta Eels for some reason, because this has been a bit of the thing, and when it comes to neither do Manly. That is a good point. That would be interesting to see how that game goes on Saturday, the Canberra Manly one. That should be very interesting, but yeah, I've got a bit of an early prediction here, because one thing I've noticed is when it comes to next year for Vegas, I'm pretty certain Storm and Parramatta have not gone over yet, meaning that they'll probably end up going next year. So I just wonder if they're crazy enough to put it as Melbourne Storm versus Parramatta for this matchup. I'm very excited to see if that does happen. As you see, as this goes around, Australia sleeps under a red and blue sky. I never thought I'd say it, but at this point, the Newcastle Knights are top of the table. The Knights are at the top of the table, and the Jets are on top of the table of the A-League. We sleep under red and blue sky. Don't gamble anymore, but I would have to imagine that the Eels have a plus start. Yeah, they've got the line's only 6.5. So it's honestly not that much. So it's still sort of close, but yeah, Storm very decent favourites. Knights look exciting. That they do look all right. I was kind of a bit worried about how they would have turned out. I mean, it is against the Cowboys, who can switch on and have done us in a few times in the past, but I'm just happy they got the job done. Now, there we go. Next week we go and face Manly, which, again, a lot of questions going to be asking that. Probably be the first game I'll be able to go to next week. Probably get a vlog out of it. Enemy territory, Brookvale. I know used to be a thing back in the 90s, but tonight's focus is, of course, Parramatta and the Melbourne Storm. So let's just quickly... Oh, I've just realised the chat's double layered here. I don't know why that's accidentally popped up. Oh, it's doubly layered. Okay. Let's just try to fix... we need that one gone. We need that one. Yeah, there was a bit of it. There we go. Okay, we're sorted. Manly SRL. Camp Raiders in real life. Manly SRL. Yeah, definitely. It's hopefully Manly go all right this year. Jesse Bennett is a bit lax. Is a bit laxing though. He needs to definitely improve after his SRL 1.0 run. But we definitely need to switch back on. But obviously now we're going to be going through the team list for Parramatta and the and the Melbourne Storm. We're going to be starting off with the home team there, as I need to. Everything's going brilliantly at the moment. There we go. We've got the team. So Suavi Falogo at fullback with Warbrick and Meaney in the wings. Howarth and Leo in the centres. Munster and Hughes are the playmakers. Stefano Takamanu and Josh King are the props with Harry Grant at hooker. Joe Chan and Atavali Lasati in the second row with Alec McDonald at lock. And you've got the 6 player benches. So only 4 players can be used, but they've now extended it to have 6 available opportunities. So Tyron Wishart, Cooper Clark, Tuika Mikamika, David Moale, Preston Conn, Nsialagi, Tuamalatu Brown. Actually went through that pretty smoothly there. And looking into the Parramatta Eels, you've got Isaiah Iongi at fullback with Bailey Simonson, Sean Russell on the wings with Will Penasini and Brian Kelly in the centres. Jonah Pezzett in his 1 year before he goes to Brisbane, obviously, against his former club, lining up with Mitchell Moses as the playmakers, Jermaine Hopgood and Junior Paulo in the prop roles with Riley Smith at hooker, Jack Williams and Keone Katoga in the second row with Jack DeBellin as lock. And the interchanges, Dylan Walker, Sam Tuivati, Matt Dory, Talon De Silva, Kelma Talagi and Joash Papali. Falogo is a big one, definitely. I'm just going to be pulling up here in terms of the specific lineups. So Avi Falogo is, I'm genuinely so excited to see how he goes here for his full probably year. Hopefully he stays healthy. I did have a prediction here. I just put it down there. I basically have made a bold prediction saying that he'll get fullback of the year, which God knows if that will happen, but I think he's absolutely talented. Jack Williams underrated too. It's very much 2 interesting teams because they've got Melbourne, coming off back-to-back grand final losses. And then you got Parramatta, who's starting to get very much on the up. Like a bunch of people, including myself, believing that Parramatta will make the finals this year. I've also gone with the Tigers as well to get there. Simonson, first try scorer. That's a pretty fair one. I think I may have put this 1-12, but I did tip the Storm to get the job done in this one. I did have a multi for a bet with mates, so I'll just go and read that. I've taken complete control of the bet, so if it falters, it's my fault. Sorry, Rowan and Bradley, if that doesn't come through. But I've got Melbourne to win, Sean Russell to score for Para, and I've got Nick Meaney and Sualavi Falogo to score for Melbourne. So we've got about 20 or so minutes remaining until the start of this matchup. Just a reminder, no game footage is being showed, unfortunately, because the NRL are actually starting to get a bit more stricter when it comes to, like, even if you have a short at the bottom half of your screen, like, I've had to sort of blur it a little bit so to get past the copyright thing and all that. So so we're just trying to get through and that. And so 6 votes still 40 67. I mean, it's pretty much, is it just straight up the Storm don't lose round 1? I think it's ever since Bellamy has been coach, I think, is when that became a thing. I just want to have a quick check. When was the last time the Melbourne Storm lost in round 1? Can't even do it on the phone. That's unfortunate. I could actually just straight up search it up. We'll just pull it up quickly here. When was the last time Melbourne lost in round 1 in our NRL? 2001 was the last time the Storm lost in the opening round, and it was the Bulldogs who stopped them. What's behind the name? Oh, it's a good question. I feel like this is the first time I've actually been asked this question. So basically, it's a gamer tag that I made when I was 12. The Z-Tank, I have no recollection of what it came from. The 99 bit, which I think is subconsciously because my dad used to call me that, which is a reference to the show Get Smart. It's like, oh, good thinking 99. So I feel like that might have subconsciously entered in here, and it's like, the Z-Tank, that bit, I've still got no real idea. There must be, I need to go through and have some, like, meditative state to try to get back into my, like, 12-year-old brain to figure out how that name came about. But yeah, it's, I Unfortunately, I don't have much of a better story for that, but that's unfortunately just how it was, and how the story was made. Like, it's like none of it's got anything to do with like my actual name, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just one of those weird ones, because the other game of tag I had was Alberto Del Rio 420, which I could explain. It's like Alberto is Bart Simpson's graffiti tag in The Simpsons. Del Rio's because it's Alberto Del Rio, the wrestler. And then 420s because, well, I mean, because I was edgy. But I was never one of those people that had XX underscores in their names. I was mature for my age growing up. But yeah, I think going into, I guess, it seems we've still got about, 20 minutes till kickoff. I mean, it's going to be interesting. So interestingly, Jack Hetherington not in the squad, which obviously was coming in from the Knights, so we're going to be seeing anything from him, unfortunately. But just trying to think of specific talking points in that. Yeah, this will be the first time I did watch like bits and pieces of the Vegas matches, like with the Knights, Cowboys, and Bulldogs, Dragons. But see, I haven't really seen how this. I actually had to look up how this new squad list ruling works. So it is 6 players on the bench, but you can only use 4 of them. But then so basically you've got 2 18-mans. So it shouldn't be too difficult, to say the least. But yeah, we're just going to be coming into that period of just waiting around. I fancy Roosters for the title, mate. And my team, the Warriors, bottom 4, unfortunately. The Warriors are a very hard team to predict, I must say. It's like one of those things, it's like, it's kind of like, it's weird like how the expectation was. It's like when people have them, it's like, they're going to be really right up for it. They don't do well as much, but when it's kind of like, I don't know what they're going to do this year, that's when they start going really well. Roosters for the title, I think this is probably the best shot the Roosters have had. I reckon they will get top 4. Don't know if they'll win the title though, personally, in my opinion. But yeah, in terms of the Vegas matches, their backline is busted and aging. Yeah, it's not right. Especially I've also got this is obviously not for this year, but Mitch Barnett obviously leaving, and basically it seems like every single club under the sun's after him. Because I was looking through the local news for the Knights, because obviously he used to play for them, and they were saying that Kurt Gidley and Lachlan Fitzgibbon have been heavily pushing the Knights to try to go after him again. But apparently initially the club's like, they weren't too keen, which is interesting. Because like he was a decent like forward when he was at the Knights, but then he went to the Warriors and became like like New South Wales rep player. He's also, I was about to say he's a local boy, but I think he's from past the Hunter, so it's technically not the Hunter. But yeah, I'm assuming everybody knows about the whole the Bulldogs Dragon thing. The Golden Point strip. The problem, well, I guess I know no one asked for it, but my opinion is, I feel like it's one of those things where I think the referee decision in real time got it wrong. But it's like, if you look back at it, it's when the strip looks like what's the stripping motion is, in a weird sense, when they went frame by frame, it more looked like it was a strip. But if they played it in real time, it was just his hand pulling out. But which is one thing I did see in England that was refreshing. They actually had some sort of ruling that happened where they were looking for a strip, and they actually let it play out in real time, because obviously going frame by frame is not exactly the greatest thing. It's kind of refreshing. I think something that needs to happen in the NRL. You in Newcastle Hunter region, yeah, I been here all my life. Born in John Hunter Hospital, but yeah, now live out Maitland Way. It usually used to be Port Stephens, but yeah, so proper Novocastrian somewhat. Now we've got 10 votes in. Thank you all very much for you guys for voting. 70% in favour of Melbourne to take the opening win in their round and season. But yeah, it's I'm very. It's pretty much really good for me trying to do like Bush League, which is doing like bush footy and that, because like the Newcastle Hunter Rugby League has got like the most clubs. I genuinely think in terms of any governing body for rugby league in like the Southern Hemisphere. I think even the world, because just the amount of clubs that are about. Because it goes all the way out to like, because then you've also got like Group 21 sort of near my door, which is like your Greater Brankston Colts, which, you know, is where what's his name, Canberra, Hudson Young, that's his junior club and that. So it's a very big area, the Hunter, of having of rugby league. You got Denman, you got your Muswellbrook, and then you've got like your Maitland Pickers and all that. So it's a good area for rugby league. Geographically, question for you, mate, but are there two cities opposite each other in the Hunter region? Opposite each other in the Hunter region. It's weird to say because you've got like, so it's like Newcastle Harbour, you've got like Newcastle and all its suburbs here, and then like just below it is what is Lake Macquarie. So I guess it's more so it's like, it's hard to say because it's like, you've got Newcastle, the city, Newcastle and Port Macquarie. Yeah, Port Macquarie it's a bit further up. It's like about 4 hours north. Because it's got like, it's like Newcastle sort of like here, then you've got like, then you got Port Stephens just past the harbour, then you got like Foster, and then, yeah, Port Matt's a bit more further up. I think that's mid-north coast, technically, is the cutoff point. There you go. You got. Don't say you didn't learn anything. You got. It's a decent geography thing, but no, it's yeah. Port Mac is I've been there. I've been there once. Yeah, I went up there to watch the It was the Jets that they were playing a regional game up there. But yeah, when it comes to like Northern New South Wales football, it's basically you got the Southern Conference, which is like the Hunter. And then you got the Northern Conference, which is basically near up to the border with Queensland, like your Lismore. Yeah, I think it's just below like Tweed Head. So it's the governing bodies for sport in this region are massive. But yeah, we've got about 12 minutes away, so we're getting very close now. It's crowd slowly starting to build. I know this is also the start of the AFL season, but it's in Sydney, so I don't know. It's like I feel like the Storm, and look, I understand they do have it tough because they've got to compete with AFL, which is more than not happening on the other side of the street of the MCG. Morning from Sleaford, Lincolnshire, UK, Spring of Spine, Rugby League is here, and Oz is back. How good. Very good to see you, Daniel. Hopefully planning on being in the United Kingdom at some point this year. I've actually bought tickets to the Magic Weekend, so going to be getting my fix of English Rugby League in Liverpool. Hopefully we'll be able to travel there, because there's a bit of argy-bargy going on in the middle between Australia and the United Kingdom. But yeah, it's just trying to do big things this year, and hopefully try to get a Bush League episode done in England. But is it bush? Because we'll try to find what the definition is of bush for the English system. So yeah, we're definitely doing some big things this year, which I'm excited to. 12 votes now in for the poll. 75% in favour of the Melbourne Storm to get the win. Stop off fight in the Middle East. It's like, yeah. No, my luck, I'd get hit by one of the drones. It's just knowing my luck. Never ever flown on a plane myself. Yeah, I've only been on a couple of times, but like the longest one was like to Japan, and I can't sleep on planes, and they're an absolute nightmare. So I've got no idea how I'd go from getting over to England. But one of the big things is, divert away from there. I guess it's like sort of lucky because there's now like you can fly out via like China and stuff like that, so there are options to avoid doing layovers over like in countries like Bahrain, Qatar, the UAE and that. So it's not bad, but it could be worse. Yeah, but I'm 55. Hey, So fair. So I think it's like current like looking in would be from China as well. They should try and visit the Lake District in Cumbria. I am planning on looking into, because I'm probably going to go for like a week or two. So I am probably planning on renting a car, but I've seen the prices. Oh boy, yeah, I think it's like for 2 weeks. It's like roughly around $1,000, and also with how petrol's going, be interesting to see what does happen. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try to do a bunch of stuff. I want to do at the latter stages of when I'm going is the English women's cricket team are playing India in a test match at Lords. And I mean, Lords is, home of cricket. And it's like, that's a opportunity I can't pass up. But yeah, I already booked my my tickets for Magic Weekend. It was only like £40, so it's about like $70-80 for a 2-day general admission seat. It's pretty good pricing. A lot cheaper than Magic Round, I'll tell you that one. But yeah, it's gonna be great to see. The loss of the Bulldogs still must hurt. It must be a motivator today. Yeah, definitely. Sorry, just actually visit. Biggest do is Cumbria. I want to visit the rugby league clubs there too. Not sure how long they'll be around. The game seems to be dying, unfortunately. Yeah, it's like you're having like good bit of moments with like the Super League, and then you're getting the news like, oh, Salford last year getting liquidated, then coming back as a Phoenix. Then you got the issue with Halifax as well. So it's a bit of a weird situation as an outsider looking in. So just getting closer to now. If anybody, it's very, very sad and upsetting. Yeah, it's it just sucks. Like in general, sounds like Liverpool and Everton will be the most. It's the best attended Magic Round. I think they said something about like already like 50-something thousand tickets have been sold. I feel like it's also the matches they've got there are also like pretty big draws, because you've got the whole derby, and then you've got the Good Friday derby between St Helens and Wigan. So and then I think they're doing something separate in France for Catalan Toulouse. So yeah, there's only going to be the 6 matches there. Because my dad was over in Vegas for the start of the season. He was talking about how good the Kingston Rovers and Rhinos fans were, where it's like each of the NRL teams kind of got a bay, and then it was just like one whole corner of the stadium was Hull Kingston Rovers, the other corner was like Leeds Rhinos, and they were loud. And he basically said it was like, if it wasn't for them attending, the crowd would not have been that good. So we've got about 5 minutes away from the kickoff, so we're not far away, and this probably should be the last break before we start the matches, but so we should transfer over here. There we go. Looks everything's looking good and fresh. We'll just hope that the chat box start writing. There we go. South of France on my bucket list too. Pop down to Barcelona, same trip, maybe next year. Yeah. What am I doing something like that? It's because that's the thing. That's the problem with it in terms of Australia, if doing like European trips and that. All it is just the most expensive thing is just getting over there. Then you're sort of fine, because you can kind of like, you can like rent a car and drive through a couple of countries in one day type ordeal. So we're getting close now, only about 5 or 6 minutes away from kickoff. If anybody wants their votes counted, put them in there and let us know. Also, just another reminder, unfortunately, no game footage will be shown, unfortunately, just due to copyright. But I feel like this game's on Channel 9, isn't it? I'm pretty certain this game is on Channel 9, so I might actually have a way for you to watch it. Yeah, you can. For those looking to watch the game, if you go to 9 Now on your browser and just create an account, you can watch it for free. It is a little bit delayed, but you still can watch it from there. Not sure how far Eurostar goes down in France, but that would be my preference by train. I'm pretty... From my knowledge of Mr. Bean, it might. Mr. Bean's the film where he goes to France. I'm pretty certain it does. Probably cheaper flying. Yeah, I have heard about there's people who do these like, oh, they live in like Newcastle and they have the Newcastle United playing in London, but instead of paying like £100+ to take the train, they like fly to another country and then fly back into the country and then be good. I've definitely seen how some of the pricing for trains are a bit ridiculous over there. RFL seems to be happy with Everton with Tess and Magic Man playing there. It's a great looking stadium. It is. I mean, obviously it's brand new as well, which is very exciting to see. Hill Dickinson Stadium. I mean, I'll probably go visit Goodison Park and Anfield. Though I'm a Red Devil, but it's just like I like sporting history. All right, we're very close from now. Okay. How to watch. And watch in browser. There we go. I'm just going to pin this. So if anybody coming in here looking for a stream, they can find out from right there. Villa Park, even though we got better there last time. Yeah, wouldn't mind going to all the stands. I do want to see Old Trafford. Old Trafford would probably be up there, and Wembley and Lords would be probably the top three I want to see over in England. But I am possibly thinking about going over in a couple of years for the Euros, because, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Hampton Park, watch Scotland play. 14 votes, 71% in favour of the Storm. This intro has been playing for ages. Oh, they're going through all the games this round, so it makes sense. But here we go. Rightio, we are here for the start of the Australian and New Zealand leg of the season. There's Parramatta Eels playing away to the Melbourne Storm. Last time in the first round last year, the Melbourne Storm battered Parramatta, but this is very much a different Eels team coming into this game. They look young, they look fresh, they look ready to go, but Storm looking to try to get over their final hurdle of 2 grand final losses back-to-back. Let's try to see if they can make it for the third time. Okay, 2 minutes away now. We've just got a couple of seconds away now. We're just now waiting to see both teams run out. We'll end the poll and we'll get us right going for the start of this matchup. Yeah, very excited to see how Sulavi Falogo. I'm so excited to see him play. I'm just gonna have a quick check on this side here to make sure there's been no like last minute changes to the starting lineup. Nope. Everything's looking fresh and ready to go, so we're all prepared. 16 votes have now come in with Parramatta. I was to say the Melbourne Storm at a 69%. Nice. But yeah, thank you very much for voting in here. So I see how Pezzett goes against his former club. I'm only going to be here for Parramatta for a year, which is, it's a bit weird because obviously he's going to Brisbane next season. But I think Parramatta have got some young guns ready to go. Isaiah Yongi. You just don't know. There's a lot of excitement too, because you don't know with these two teams. Like I've got the I think I've got Parramatta predicted 6th, and I've got the Storm predicted 5th. It feels so weird tipping the Storm to not finish in the top 4, but that's just kind of how it's laid out for me as Mitchell Moses leads the team out to Amy Park, looking to improve from last year's opening round defeat. Good, decent. It's an alright crowd. Yeah, it's not too bad at all. It's a pretty decent crowd, probably around 16, 17,000. if I had to take a stab in the dark, and now we're just waiting for the Melbourne Storm to come out, and we'll be ready to kick off the continuation of round 1 in Melbourne. And if you are looking to try to find a stream, unfortunately I can't be able to show the footage here, but you go to the pinned comment in the chat. There is a way to watch it live, as we've now got Harry Grant leading out the Melbourne Storm. Obviously won the International Golden Boot last year for Best International Player. I personally don't know how, because Dylan Brown from New Zealand. But anyways, they're running out with little mascots in a there we go. We're both teams now out onto the field as the Melbourne Storm run through the banner. Melbourne Storm built different. I feel like it's one of the better. I actually do like Melbourne running the banner. I know it's obviously Aussie rules, but I like it. I think it's kind of cool. Suafalogo, 22 games, 14 tries, starting at fullback. We're getting excited. Okay, I'm going to end the poll here now. So thank you to everyone who has voted in this. It has resulted 17 votes, a 71% majority voting in favour of the Melbourne Storm to continue their round 1 winning streak. Been going on since 2001 when the Broncos went, it's the Ginger ref. What's his name? What is the Ginger's ref name? He's also wearing a orange and black kit, but obviously no game footage. But if you want to watch along, you've got the link pinned to create the 9 Now account. Parramatta will be kicking off, and they'll be running screen left with Melbourne Storm getting first possession, and we are underway for the start of the continuation of round 1 as Melbourne pick the ball up inside their goal mouth as it's Josh King, the local boy, Knights Jr. on the 10 for the first tackle. And now it's running up the guts here. It's a Takamanu. Gets brought down inside of the 20 for the second tackle. And there's another run there. It's to Joe Chan. Getting onto the 20 for the third tackle. It's just doing one-up play at the moment. Setting their tone as Munster. Gets wrapped up inside of the 30 for the fourth tackle. Oh no, he's knocked out. Cameron Munster is knocked out. That is an immediate oh no. It looked like his head collided with, I don't know, it must have hit someone's hip, but he's just not gotten up at all. Sorry, I apologise. I don't think it's even Munster. Oh, he's Jermaine Hopgood brings it into the tackle, and his head bounces off the ground. The eyes are almost rolling to the back of his head. It's actually a sickening thud. So I do apologise. I don't think it is Cameron Munster. It is not. So the bunker's going to be looking into this. Could this possibly be a sin bin already for Jermaine Hopgood? The Storm player is now talking, and he's going through holding his neck, but his night might be done. But be interested to see what does happen with Jermaine Hopgood as we're stopped 36 seconds into this game. Because I'm trying to figure out which Storm player it was. I do apologise. I did think it was Cameron Munster, but it is not. Oh, it's a shoulder to the head, but I don't know if it's purposeful, and his head smacks into the ground. So we're just going to have a look and see what... Yeah, they've immediately got the stretcher out. This is quite serious because it's a head to the shoulder, and then his head just cocked back. Oh, no, he's back up on the field. It was Alec McDonald. And he's gone up under his own weight. But yeah, his night's definitely done. But honestly, absolute good on him for staying up in that. But it's probably going to be a penalty for a high shot. I don't know if it's going to be a sin bin, though. Oh, here we go. They're talking. Because it genuinely might be. Jermaine Hopgood now coming towards the ref. Direct shoulder contact with the head. It's a report and in the bin. So just like that, Parramatta could not have started this game worse, as it's going to be a penalty to the Melbourne Storm and they'll be having a man advantage with Jermaine Hopgood now in the sin bin as Tui Kamika comes on now for Alec McDonald. So the Storm kick it into touch, and the ball will be placed just inside of Parramatta's half. So Parramatta need to start their defence early. I mean, they had to start it anyways and whatever, but... There we go. So the Storm now 35 out from the line. And they get the run up the guts. Josh King. It's brought down 25 away from the try line here. Still one-ups play down the middle. They're going to spread it to the left as Lasardi. Gets brought down 15 out now. Fourth tackle. Run from Harry Grant from dummy half. Gets it off to Munster. Now lays off to Kui Kamika. Coming on a lot earlier than expected. Now inside the 10. Last tackle for Melbourne. And it's a set restart anyways as Hughes ends up with the ball and it will just get wrapped up and held up inside the 10 for the first tackle. So all the momentum now with the Storm here as they spread it out to the right-hand side as that's a Takamanu. And the ball is popped out and Parramatta will get the ball. It'll be a 0 tackle inside of the 10 for the Eels. So they've stopped that. And it's a penalty to Parramatta. There we go. Parramatta fending off the set restart and now winning a penalty to try to just cue it out. So it's about just under 2 minutes now gone in this. Oh, the commentators are already going about, oh, was it a loose carry or was it a strip? Because of what happened with the Bulldogs and Dragons. So the tap inside the 30 here for Parramatta as they run up the guts. And we'll get brought down on the 30-metre line is Brian Kelly for the first tackle for the Eels, as that is Jack DeBellin. Just shy of the 40 here, just probably one-ups play, because this is the first time Parramatta have had the ball this game. There's Junior Paulo. If he had a Samoa jersey on, he would have probably murdered about 2 of the Storm players there, right on halfway here. Third tackle for Parramatta. Fends it off to the left, past absolutely nobody, but they still end up with it, the Eels, as Katoga gets brought down on halfway for the fourth tackle, as we've now gone past 3 minutes in this matchup. Now they're going down the left-hand side here, Parramatta. They've got some momentum here. Just a little bit. Sean Russell brought down onto the Storm 30 now for the last tackle. Fends it off to Moses, who goes for a high kick to the right-hand side. There'll be interesting pressure here. And the ball is bounced. And it's going to be classed as a Storm knock-on, as Nick Meaney possibly bobbled it or knocked it on into a Storm player's hand. So just like that, 10 metres out, Parramatta with the scrum, a man down, and have the possibility to get the first points of the matchup. So I know you did make the prediction. I believe it was Cameron Mackham of Simonson scoring the first try, where we could genuinely have that possibility happening. So we're now just about 4 minutes gone. So scrum right in front of the post, 10 metres out. They've got to reset the scrum here. Jermaine Hopgood now remaining off the field for the next 6.5 minutes. But if Parramatta can get a try here, this would be very impressive. They've got the numbers here. Iongi almost getting to the line. And he was brought down 5 short first tackle on the far left-hand side. Gives it off to Pezzett. Now to Moses. Now to Paulo. They'll be brought back a little bit. We wrapped up 15 out from the try line for the second tackle, but more central. Parramatta now go to the left-hand side as Moses. Now Pezzett. Pezzett getting the pass out to the wing here. And that's going to be a try to the Parramatta Eels. It's the winger. Is it Simonson? No, it's the other winger. It's Sean Russell. And just like that, after going a man down 30 seconds into the game, the Parramatta Eels are now 4-0 up. Wow. Rightio, the Parramatta Eels are here to play here. And I mean, if they can get in with this man disadvantage, but still leading, brilliant bat out to the wing from Iongi to get it out to Sean Russell. And Sean Russell getting the first try of the match here. As we just got notification, Australia have now scored over Iran in the Women's Asian Cup. So I don't know if anybody was keeping track of that, but there you go. But there we go. Just like that, Parramatta getting the opening try of the game. After Jermaine Hopgood gets sin-binned 30 seconds in for a Shoulder charge hit on Alec McDonald, which him hitting his head right at the back, forcing him to be pretty much ruled out of the game. So conversion attempts now coming in for Parramatta. I believe it'll be Moses who's taking the kick, but it could be Pezzett. We don't know. They're not looking for a possible obstruction here. They're kind of reviewing it. Jerome Hughes hits someone late in the play in the lead up here, but I don't think there's anything happening. Jesus terrible attempt by the Storm winger to catch the ball. Yeah, it's a bit rough. Also, where was Falogo in that? Because he had to come across. Meany had to come across very deep, so he was trying to catch it on the run. It was very unfortunate there. Is the try been confirmed? I'm not 100% sure. Yep, it must be, because we have got Parramatta lining up to take the conversion. It is Mitch Moses, 77% career, mate. And the kick, it won't swing enough. It'll count as a miss. So, just 6 minutes gone. It is 4-0 to Parramatta. Not sure if I can handle flying. Yeah, it's one of those things I know. Like my dad was struggling when he was trying to fly to the US. But there you go. Sean Russell, first try scorer. Did I have him scoring first in the game? I might have to check this bet with mates multi. Did I? I did. There we go. There we go. We got Sean Russell did score, so I need Nick Meaney, Suafalogo, and Melbourne to win. And we're in the money. And there we go. There's the kickoff, and we are underway. It's a bit of a scuffed kick. It's only gone about 30 metres. As it ends up in the hands of Sean Russell, who will get wrapped up past the 20 for the first tackle. Bit of a weird kick that is. So Parramatta now only 4 minutes remaining under the man disadvantage Jermaine Hobgood looks on in the sheds. Here's Jack DeBellin here from the run. He gets brought down just shy of the 40 for the third tackle. Junior Paulo now running up the guts as well. He needs to just go bold. He's brought down on halfway. He's got like the entire backlog I'm holding up there. It's the number 11 here for Parramatta, Jack Williams, who will get the last tackle just past the Melbourne Storm's 40, as Bellamy not too happy with that. Last tackle kick, but that's going to be a forward pass. And Melbourne will get the ball inside of their own 30 for a new set. Very nice weather in Melbourne at the moment. It's sort of like the colour scheming for the sky looks a bit like, you know, Storm colours in a way. So just shy of the 40 actually, so 4 sets. So the Storm definitely need to try to capitalise somehow with this man advantage. Flinging it now into the middle as that's Warbrick, who gets past halfway for the second tackle. And that is Jack Howarth, who gets brought down on Parramatta's 40 for the third tackle. Still just doing some one-ups play here. Now Jerome Hughes gives off to Kamika. And you get brought down on Paris 30 now, fourth tackle. Still been very much central here as Hughes flings it off to Munster. Flat ball out to Lasardi, and he'll get brought down 20 metres away from the try line on more so the left-hand side here. Last tackle. They'll go short. Munster flings it off to Leo. Leo's still going. They're trying to get a pass off, but the whistle has stopped. And Parramatta will get the ball from the changeover. I think something happened. Maybe it was a forward pass. But here we go. Parramatta now getting their first tackle. It's Simonson inside the 20. As we're 8.5 gone in this matchup. Still 4-0 to the Eels. As Yongi now inside the 30. Still just doing one-up central play. Now it's the number 4, Brian Kelly. Still running up the middle. Just shy of the 40 here now. Now it's the number 12 of Katoni Katoga. Just shy of halfway now for the fourth tackle. Paulo looking more like Kimbo's life every day. I was wondering what they would. Yeah, it was. I was wondering what his haircut was looking like, and it's definitely that, Daniel. Right, last tackle just shy, 40 away from the try line. It's a kick by Moses, and it looks like Meaney again. There's a little bit of miscommunication as Meaney gets absolutely whacked inside the 10 for the first tackle for the Storm. But there's a lot of miscommunication here because Falogo is in more of the chance to catch it, but Nick Meaney's coming all the way in to catch it. It's like, I feel like there's not really that much communication between the two, and that sort of incident eventually led to the mistake and the Eels scoring the first try. But here we go. So Nick Meaney now was brought down just shy of the Storm 30 for the third tackle. And now Takamani gets brought down just shy of the Storm 40 for the fourth. And now we're into the final minute of there being a 12-man Eels. It's a set restart here for Melbourne. Ruck infringement as Tui Kamika gets brought down just shy of halfway for the first tackle. They'll go out to another ruck infringement again. So first tackle now for the Storm, 40 away from the try line as they've entered the Eels half. Can they somehow get a try and get in front? Kamika. Right from the pass of Harry Grant, gets brought down 35 away from the try line for the second tackle. They'll fling it off to the left here. Hughes gets it off to Munster. Now Farlogo gives it off to Leo. Leo's on the run. Leo's got space. Couldn't get a pass off his drop down. 5 metres away from the line here. Third tackle. Farlogo doesn't know where he needs to go because Meany's had to shove him away from dummy half. Now Munster gives it off to Grant. Now to Hughes. There's numbers out on the wing if they get it to it. Warbrick runs in and Warbrick grounds it. And the Melbourne Storm finally take a capitalisation on their man advantage right before Jermaine Hopgood comes onto the field. It's now 4-4 with a kick to come. 11.5 gone in this matchup. Just because Will Warbrick looks at the bloke in him. But yeah, great finish. And it's like, I don't know, it just seems like Farlogo's just in a bit of a confusing spot because him and Nick Meaney, they're just not on the same wavelength. But then again, long cutout ball out from Jerome Hughes to get the pass out to Will Warbrick. And he's absolutely done brilliantly there to finish in the corner. He's one of the more beautiful players to watch ground in the corner as the try is confirmed. He's great to see. And there's the Storm fans there. Happy first try of the season there. It's Will Warbrick. So we need Nick Meaney and Sorfalogo to score. Will Warbrick, 38 career tries, and it's his 5th against Parramatta. So it'll be a kick from the sideline here. I think it should be... Is it Nick Meaney going to be kicking? Or is it Hughes or is it Munster? It's a beautiful flat flying ball out. Completely backwards. It's just... It's what you want. Is there a more solid looking player than Kamika in the NRL? He looks even more solid this year if that's possible. He's generally like the most underrated player in the NRL. He's just... It's kind of like a Gary Neville-esque. Here comes the conversion attempt. It looks like it's Nick Meaney. And it is right from the sideline. This to make it 6-4. And the Storm to take the lead. It's hugging the pace, but it curls just enough in. And it's 6-4. 12 minutes now gone in this matchup. And Melbourne now have their first lead of the matchup. So it should be at some point here where Jermaine Hopgood comes onto the field. So it'll be 13-13. It did Gary Neville, like I say. I guess it was more kind of like the in terms of like a style of player for a team where it's like, what was the phrase? It was like no one wants to be a Gary Neville, but every team needs a Gary Neville. If that makes any sense. I've heard. I don't know if that applies to anything, but another drone shot of Amy Park. Like they've got the brightness and ISO set on it. It's good to see. Yeah, to be fair, I would like to see Tui Kamika fight Gary Neville. We did it in the boxing event as the kickoff happens here for the Storm, and Tui Kamika runs in and he gets brought down on the 20-metre line for the first tackle for Melbourne. And okay, Melbourne's getting some quick plays here, possibly trying to get a run for years. It's Takamanu. He gets brought down just shy of Melbourne's 40 for the third tackle. Now Farlogo. I think he's only getting his like second or third time with the ball here. Right on halfway of the fourth tackle as his headgears come off. Trying to get a run through there is Lasardi, and he gets 40 away from the try line here for the fourth tackle. That's the last tackle actually, and Harry Grant kicks it. And we'll bounce out to Iongi right on the far right sideline. And we'll get brought in inside the 20. Gary Neville's certainly the most biased commentator for sure, that's for certain. I do agree with you of him being biased, but I raise you Rio Ferdinand. There we go, Parramatta now just on the 30 for the third tackle. Getting through the middle. More one-ups play here from the Eels as they're getting down to the 40 for the fourth tackle. There's Hopgood now starting to get his feet maybe into the play here. That is Sean Russell. Tried to get an offload off of Pezzett, but it's a bit of one he didn't expect, and Pezzett knocks it on, so there'll be a changeover right on halfway here for the Melbourne Storm with a scrum. I think it was a bit of a late opportunity. Oh, he was calling for it, but Pezzett wasn't really ready for it, unfortunately. So that's going to be a knock-on. And a chance for Melbourne to continue their lead. So right on the corner of halfway. So on the right-hand side, to be fair. So just trying to see what does go through here. Now, Hughes gives it off. Runs Pappenhausen. That's up Munster right on halfway, actually. Now trying to run at the middle here is Lasati. Gets brought down 45 away from the try line. Grant the go. Wait, did Grant score? But Takamani now 30 metres out from the try line, third tackle. And Harry Grant just runs up the guts and scores. Gap absolutely open up and Grant scores. I'm right. How far back am I? Because I want to ask, how long was the scoreboard saying that was a try? Like it was 10-4. Because that happened for a bit. Am I behind? Sorry, I'm behind by like a minute. I do apologise for that. I thought I was live. Do apologise for that, but there we go. Harry Grant running up the guts from dummy half. I mean, is there any dummy half? He's really good at the sort of tush-push play of just rushing straight, and he just does it again. And that's 9 tries against the Eels there for Parramatta. For Grant against the Parramatta. So hard to track him, Harry Grant. Such a smart player. He very much... I know the term football IQ gets thrown around, but he's very much a key example of that as Nick Meaney converts, and it's now 12-4 to Melbourne as we're 23 minutes 44 remaining in the matchup. Just Harry Grant just does... God, he's good. He does the AFL hit. Just waiting now the kickoff here from the Eels. And it's Kamika there. Learn off the best, obviously. Yeah. Mr. Cameron Smith, of course. And now Melbourne now just trying to keep this momentum really going. And Josh King, Knights Jr., good to see him not at the Knights. It just always happens like that. Takamani now running up the guts. He just absolutely fends off Mitchell Moses about 5 metres back as it gets wrapped up on the Storm 40 for the 4th tackle. Set restart as well. As the Storm now fling it out to the right-hand side as Jerome Hughes trying to find a gap. He's still going. He's broken through several tackles and he'll get brought down on Parramatta's 40 for the first tackle. Now Munster gives it off to Lasati, I apologise. 30 away from the try line now. Second tackle. Where does Melbourne go from here? Munster. Out to Hughes. Farlogo. Gets the pass out to Howarth. Howarth on the run. Howarth loses the ball. It's a very unfortunate chance there. And it's going to be counted as a knock-on. So it'll be a scrum free for Power inside the 10. But that's a chance wasted there from Melbourne. As Howarth just getting wrapped up inside the 10 and just... coughs his lollies up in that space. You can't say he hasn't been blessed with his play, but he's probably listened well too. That's how you learn. Oh, definitely. I mean, like, it's definitely like that's also a very key thing in terms of like of recruitment for some teams is like learning under the best. Because I mean, like Cameron Smith, he's now at Brisbane now, so we gotta be careful of the Broncos number 9s for the next couple of years. Like Corey Pite, like it's gonna be scary coming in that. It's why the Tigers have got so many good stars in their team at the moment. It's because of Benji Marshall and learning under one of the best. That's why if the Knights had like Andrew Johns and that would be cool. Parramatta now still just struggling to try to get out of their half here. They're still on their 20 for the 3rd tackle. Only going about 15 metres so far. Here's Jermaine Hopgood. And he'll get wrapped up just behind Parra's 30 for the fourth tackle. DeBellin gives it off to Pezzett. Now they're sending it out to the left-hand side. As Katoga gets an offload off very late, still going, as all the Melbourne players went back to the line. But last tackle right on halfway. Moses beats one, flings it off to Paulo, gets a pass out. They're passing all the way out to the right-hand side. They've got numbers. No, they're going to count it as forward. That's unfortunate. It was really close, but to be honest, I think it's a bit more flat than usual. We'll have a look. Paulo gets the pass out to Williams. Yeah, it's just forward for Penasini. That's very unfortunate. So just about entering the final 20 minutes of the first half. And the Storm will get the ball on their 40 following the forward pass. So Nick Meaney will get brought down right on halfway. Doesn't always sink in straight away. Take me, for example, simple things can take years for my brain to get. Oh, I definitely have that type of thing. I need to be spoken to like I'm a child for me to pick things up. As Kamika again running from, gets brought down 35 away from the try line now. Third tackle. Storm now going out to the right. Hughes. Oh, and the ball's just been coughed up there by Joe Chan, and that just... If the Tigers can hold on to all their young guns, they'll be a force in a couple of years' time. Definitely. I have them making the finals this year, which I know it's a bit of a bold prediction, but I just think could be big. Now, Parramatta, almost coughing the lollies up there for Jack DeBellin, but he'll hang on and get past halfway now for the third tackle for the Eels. Paulo now out to Walker. Parramatta trying to spread it out. That's the number 17 of Talon de Silva now. 35 away from the try line. Fourth tackle for the Eels. Run from dummy half here. Walker's got it, but he doesn't get enough time to pass it off now. 25 out. Last tackle for the Eels. Flings it out to Moses. Moses going to go on a run. Flings it out to Penasini. Penasini still going. Penasini trying to find Simonson. Simonson back to Penasini. Penasini still going, but he'll get brought down in a three-man tackle just 5 metres short of the line. Really good play there by the Eels. But unfortunately, Storm's defence was there and ready to go. As Farlogo and Penasini just holding each other and just having a bit of a chat. Storm now just waiting for the to take place as Moses talking to the referee, like usual. To be fair, all of them have got to, but he does it a little bit more. Storm now trying to find their way out of their 20. They're brought down on their 15 now for the second tackle. More centrally here, Farlogo at dummy half. Gets it off to Warbrick. And Warbrick will be wrapped up on the 20-metre line for the third tackle. This has been a good defensive set so far by the Eels. Kamika will get brought down on the Storm 30 for the fourth tackle. Just on the middle here, there's going to be an early kick going for a possible 40-20, but it won't get the bounce probably to go near the sideline as Parramatta pick it up inside of their 20, as it is Simonson who will get wrapped up in the 30 for the first tackle for the Eels, as we've got now less than 18 minutes remaining in this matchup. This first half saved it. So DeBellin's come off here for Dylan Walker. So is Dylan Walker playing as a 13? Right, that could be interesting to see how that does play out. Third tackle here is Russell just shy of the 40 for the third. And almost a break for run. Brian Kelly still going. Should still be Parramatta's ball for a set restart. They're claiming it as a knock-on, but Parramatta are calling for an immediate challenge because it is arms that touch the ball that force it out. That basically was trying to pass and the Storm players' hands come in and... I've explained it horribly, but I think you get what I mean. So yeah, pretty immediate challenge here for Parramatta, and to be honest, I think they should win it as Brian Kelly gets on the run. And he's trying to get a pass off, and it's Joe Chang grabs the passing arm. No, it's what? It's unsuccessful. Right, so it's going to be counted as a knock-on. But yeah, it's counted as a knock on and challenge immediately unsuccessful. I don't know how I feel about that. I might have to be sat down and told that rule for the rules. But here we go. Scrum feed just in front of the Melbourne Storm 40 here for the Storm. We'll just see if they're going to be able to get something done here. But also, I feel like if anything, the hand touched the ball and it did pop backwards, but I think it went backwards anyways. So, I don't know. So here we go, Storm now. There we go, the scrum has been set and we've gone through. And now they're spreading it out to the right-hand side far logo to Howarth. And Howarth will get brought down just shy of halfway for the first tackle. Now less than 17 minutes remaining in this game's first half. Set myself again. Now Chan now enters the Eels half. There's 45 away now, second tackle. Storm now go in through the middle here, still 40 out now. As you've got a Takamanu now trying to go up the guts and we'll get 30 away from the try line now, fourth tackle. Spreads it out to Munster, now to Hughes, now to Farlogo. Gets it out to Howarth and Howarth will get wrapped up 15 away from the try line on the right hand side. Last tackle, Farlogo gives it off to Hughes. Hughes goes for a crossfield kick. It's a bit of a weird one. Warbrick catches it. Still last tackle. Trying to power himself over, but there's too many Eels players there. And it will result in a changeover for Parramatta. Yeah, genuinely like 4 Eels defenders there just trying to stop the charge there. And they've held on. So should be expecting a big defensive stats here by the Storm to keep Parramatta at bay. And there's the first tackle inside the 10 as that was Brian Kelly. He took the first hit up. Oh, and that's not what you wanted to do. Takamanu not getting out of the ruck, and it is a penalty to the Eels. So 15.5 now remaining in this half as Moses goes for a deep kick. It'll be taken inside the 30 for the first hit up for the Eels. Now running up the middle here, they get wrapped up inside the 40 for the first tackle. This is number 12 of Katoga. He's getting a lot of the ball here, and it's probably my first time seeing him. He's been going all right, Kitione Katoga. Just past the 40 now for the Eels for the second tackle. They're spreading Junior Paulo. Gets on a run, thinking about the offload, but the ball's popped up anyway. That's going to be a loose carry. So the Storm now just keep it on going. There's Joe Chan. Oh, bit of big hits there. Oh, almost a little bit of a punch there. Zero tackle just inside of the Storm's half here. Farlogo. Media wrapped up. They're calling for a high shot. And it is a penalty to the Storm for a high shot there by Brian Kelly. But yeah, unfortunately, Junior Paulo was definitely thinking about getting the offload off, but the ball just popped out. So pass it to Farlogo, and just the high shot from the arm there by Brian Kelly on Farlogo. So here we go. Big chance here for the Storm to increase their lead. Damien Moal has come onto the field for Tui Kamikamiga, who's had a very impressive 25-minute stint as Takamanu now gets held up 20 away from the try line for the second tackle. 14 minutes, 20 remaining in this first half. Flat pass to Josh King, who gets brought down 10 away from the try line for the third tackle. Grant at the play, gives it off to Munster on the right. Now to Hughes. Hughes, flat ball, almost a breakthrough run there for Chan. Now to Howarth, and Howarth gets over. And there we go. Melbourne take the chance there from the mistake from Parramatta. And it's now 16-4 with a kick to come. Just under 14 remaining in this first half. And this is sort of the momentum Melbourne need going into this half after a bit of a shaky opening stanza. So it's Munster blinging it out to Hughes. Just gets a nice flat ball off there to Joe Chan. He gets wrapped up inside the 5. And a very quick play of the ball here by the Storm. It was Hughes who goes into dummy half instead of Harry Grant and just flings it straight into Jack Howarth, who was ready in there to dive for the line. There's a bit of a gap opened up as Brian Kelly overcommitted forward to try to get an earlier stop. But there we go. Try confirmed. 16-4 the kick to come. And Melbourne Storm very much on the way. So now just waiting here for seeing how 7 tries in his career for Jack Howarth, 5 at Amy Park. So there you go, first try of the season. Hopefully it goes all well. And now we're just waiting to see how this kick will go from Nick Meady. See if he can make it 3 from 3. Just waiting to see what does end up happening from this kick as time's still winding down here. Right near the sideline. Are we getting a shot from the drone? Shouldn't be saying that under recent news, but here we go, Nick Meaney. From the kick, and he slotted it right between the sticks. It's now 18 points to 4. With just about 12 minutes 20 remaining in the first half. So 14-point lead now for Melbourne. With tries coming from Will Warbrick, Harry Grant, and Jack Howarth. Fending off the fourth minute try by Sean Russell for the Eels. We're just going to refresh to see if it goes up to 18-6. No, we're waiting for it though. But trust me, it is 18-6 to the Melbourne Storm. Just want to make sure this all fits in that. I actually haven't had the chance to look. As kickoff is back underway with the Storm getting the ball. And it's going to be, I believe, Davey Mawal. Gets brought down inside the 20. The Tigers will let Makasini go. Makasini go, mark my words. They can't retain talent. Benji left twice. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Makasini does go. But, I mean, I saw him during one of the trials when they played the Roosters. What a talent expected he's going to be. He's going to have a lot of people swarming for him after his current deal's done. As the Storm here, the number 12 of Lasati gets brought in just past the Storm 40 for the 4th tackle. Harry Grant going from dummy half, flings out to Munster. Now to Tuikami, no, not Tuikami, it's Stefano Atekamanu. I tried to save it. Didn't do well. Past halfway now, last tackle for Melbourne. Gives it off to Hughes. Hughes feints a kick. He's going to go run. He's going to go for a chip and chase. The bounce is not faring well. Oh, it's picked up by Parramatta. It's Ayongi who gets a massive line break. And he gets brought down 45 metres away from the try line. Right, what possibly a momentum-changing run there. As Parramatta now fling it out to their wing. There's a run. I believe it's Simonson. Simonson trying to find the line. He's almost there. Oh! And he's lost the ball. It wasn't Simonson, it was Penasini. But he was right there. He had carried 2 or 3 Melbourne players inside the 10. But unfortunately, he's reached out to try and score, and he's just ended up losing the ball. I think it was Munster who would have probably forced it out. But man, what a huge opportunity that was for the Eels. But what a run by Will Penasini. So you've got 3 Storm players on him, trying to carry himself over the line. He reaches out, but he just loses it before the line. Christ, that was close, but Munster did incredibly well to stop that as Warbrick gets the ball and he'll get brought down just shy of the 20 for the first tackle. It's about to enter the final 10 minutes of this first half as Howarth now with the ball running dead straight and he gets brought down just shy of the 30. And now Penasini now starting to get a little bit buggered. So now just shy from the 3rd, they're going to bring it out to Josh King, who gets brought down on the Storm 40 for the 4th tackle. Got to think if the Storm can get another 1 or 2 tries here, this could very much be a momentum favour into the first half. Last tackle just past halfway. Munster with a high boot, and it's going to go to Yongi, and he'll get catches it on the 10, and will be brought down just shy of the 20 for the first tackle for the Eels as we're 9 minutes 30 remaining in this first half. Yongi taking a while to get up. Is he going for I think he might be saying there was a crusher tackle here. He's feeling the back of his head. We'll just see what happens in the review. Was there... Oh, that's possibly a crusher here. So this might end up being a penalty. I can see why it hasn't been called. It's pretty close. But he needs to be careful with Itakamano because that is pretty much near borderline. But he's alright, but it's not going to result in a penalty here for the Eels. So here we go, Parramatta. It's ball to the 20, flings it out to the right, and they'll get wrapped up. They're trying to drag him back to the 20, and they do. And it's still, the second tackle was held. And now Iongi, the on-field trainer has said that, yeah, he's fine, but the independent doctors now come in and has been sent for a HIA. Mitchell Moses going to the referee saying, well, so he's going off for HIA, but why is he having to come off? Basically saying because it was a bit of a shoulder hit by Takamanu and a little bit of a crusher. So Iongi's now off the field and is going to be replaced by, trying to figure out who it is. It's too far away from the camera angle there. But anyways, Jack Williams just shy of the 30 for the third tackle. And now the Eels now just trying to keep going through this set. Fourth tackle. They get a set restart here. So good chance here for the Eels to keep this play going. They get up to past halfway here. It's a great run there by Katoga for the first tackle. Just getting some football news there. So anyway, second tackle, 40 away from the try line here for the Eels. Trying to swing it down the middle here as it's Matt Dory. It's brought down 35 away from the try line for the third tackle. Walker trying to get a flat ball off. Parramatta getting some offloads going. As it's Talon to Silver, I believe you got the ball now. Fourth tackle, 20 metres out. They'll go to the right, the Eels. Moses getting the passing. It's not gone really anywhere. Simonson with the ball. It's given to the number 19 of Josh Papali. Now 20 metres out now. Last tackle. They're on the right-hand side of the field. Moses gets the ball. He'll kick it more central. Farlogo trying to go for the catch. He takes it, and he gets immediately tackled by the Eels, but he's still in play here, so no goal line dropout as Hughes runs from dummy half and gets brought down just shy of the 10-metre line for the second tackle. So Isaiah Iongi is category 2, so he's going to get assessed in the sheds. But good defensive set here by Parramatta. They're keeping the Storm inside of their 20. That was the fourth tackle. And here's Tyron Wishart now, just shy of the 30 for the last. There's the last tackle kick there. Only getting to the 30. So good defensive set here by the Eels, who kind of need to get a try going into the half as Simonson. I think it's Simonson actually. Gets brought down just shy of halfway for the first tackle. So we've now got about 7 minutes remaining in this first half. As that's the number 5 is Sean Russell, the try scorer. There's Brian Kelly now. Running up the middle, 35 away from the try line for the third tackle. Now Parramatta flinging it out from the right-hand side here. They've got numbers going. Penasini will get wrapped up, 15 away from the try line now on the right-hand side. Fourth tackle. And almost a breakthrough there for Parramatta now. 10 metres out. Last tackle for the Eels. Feign to the left, go to the right. Walker. And they just get crushed up. He gets a pass off somehow. I think it's De Silva who's picked it up. But he'll get held up, and inside the 10 will be a change over here for Melbourne. As we've just got over 6 minutes remaining in this first half. So here we go. Did bro just get dessert delivered? You goddamn right, I got carrot cake. Yeah. So Melbourne Storm Warbrick there gets brought down inside of just past the 20 actually for the third tackle. Still trying to do a bit more one-upments. Parramatta 60% completion rate, not the greatest in this match. Melbourne currently at 84. Farlogo, that's another high shot on him, but doesn't get called. Last tackle. Only getting up to their 40 here. Munster with the kick, possibly aiming for the touch, but it swings into the midfield as I believe it's Josh Papali'i who's now come in as the replacement fullback as Iongi goes through his head assessment. And he's just shy of the 30 for the first tackle. 5.5 now remaining as a set restart for a ruck infringement happens. So just past the 30. So Will Penasini now Gets just shy of the 40 for the second tackle. More run-ups the middle here. As Sean Russell there getting almost up to halfway. Parramatta now spreading it out to the right. They've got numbers here. As Simonson couldn't catch it cleanly and gets wrapped up by Nick Meaney, but it's going to be a penalty here for the Eels. As there's a Parramatta player down, he's clutching near his left knee. See what happens here. Oh, no. No, he doesn't look good. He seems to be in agony. It's a late contact penalty. The outside of the knee's hurting for him. Bit of knee on knee there. Number 16, it's Matt Doherty that's clutching on the knee. And it's like, so is it a penalty to Parramatta? Well, yeah, it would be. Makes sense out of the ball, but Matt Doherty's still on the field. Parramatta now 30 Eels to score. Definitely hope to trying to wrestle some momentum going into the sheds. 4.5 now remaining in this half. Run there from Katoga. 15 away, still on that left-hand side still. Looks like they'll go more simple here. Pezzett. Moses almost breaks the line. He gets brought down 10 away from the try line there. Third tackle. Set restart anyways. It's a really big chance here for Parramatta to get some more points on the board to try to close the gap going into half time. First tackle on the 10. Fling it out. Pezzett to Katoga. Just short of the line. 5 out now. We're on the far left-hand side here, so they're going to try to spread it into the middle here. Pezzett. And incorrect play of the ball. And the chance has gone absolutely begging there for Parramatta, and they can't review that one because they lost their challenge earlier. Australia are beating Iran 4-0. Was there anything wrong with that? I don't know the play of the ball rules anymore. I'm a bit of a dingus. They're 3.5 now remaining. As a Storm player set to make his debut. Cooper Clark, the number 15, set to come on to make his debut in the NRL. He's a big boy. Big, stocky, white boy. Would you like to see? Oh, bit of a high hit. That's a ball knock on. Yep, here we go. Parramatta now. Oh, Harry Grant with a bit of argy-bargy here was pushing at the number 17, the Talon to Silva. And now, there's a bit of hairbags going on here. No, you take Zach Lomax. No, we want money for him. I think is what's being said. So it's Talon to Silva who gets shoved by Harry Grant. And then another Parramatta player comes in and shoves Harry Grant. And then Farlogo comes in and shoves an Eels player. And just a tale of two. It's just a tale of multiple pushes. And then everyone just sort of comes in and gets... The referee was stuck in the middle of that one. Yep, and it's a penalty to Melbourne because Harry Grant instigated everything. So just over 2 minutes remaining here. A chance here definitely now for the Eels to try to get more points on the board. Pass almost goes big in there. Parramatta now up the guts. Eels have to score to stay in it. I mean, 14 points is still not bad, but you definitely need to... Especially being the last team to score going into the sheds... It's definitely 8. A deficit of 8 is better than 14. So Cooper Clark making his NRL debut now on the field. Moses now sprinting it out to the right. Penasini brought down 5 away now. 4th tackle on the right hand side. Josh Papali'i sends it out to Moses. Now to Walker. They're getting it out to the left hand side here. Pezzett, and he's been tackled and the ball's gone forward and it's a knock on. And obviously it's a Storm player is going in at his former teammate. There's Cooper Clark. Definitely Cooper Clark is a stacked boy. But yeah, Pezzett. Good wrap-up tackle there by the number 11 of Joe Chan. But here we go. Less than a minute remaining. So this will probably be the last set of this matchup's first half. Saved it. But yeah, the Storm... Going to keep into this with a 14-point lead, which definitely means there'll be more pressure on Parramatta to try to get the first points in the second half. Actually, I should say. Up score question, 3-0 to Australia over Iran. So can the Storm go the length for the field to make it even worse? 40 seconds now remaining, as this is the number 12 of Lasardi inside the 20 for the first tackle. Spreading it out now. Ooh. Big run play here. Eels trying to just keep their tackles going. Still inside the 20 for the second tackle. 23 seconds remaining. It's Munster. Gets wrapped up on the 30 for the third tackle. So now, and here we go. That's Cooper Clark. And he gets his ass out on the first play. Good to see. Fourth tackle here. Still 5 seconds. This will be the last play, surely. Unless I can get a quick play of the ball here. 3, 2, 1. They get enough. Here we go. Last play. And Munster just grubs it into touch. He doesn't want to play anymore. And that is the end of the first half. The Melbourne Storm, 18 points to 4 ahead. Very interesting half, to say the least. Obviously, with Alec McDonald being forced out due to what obviously happened with his shoulder charged by Jermaine Hopgood, and then his head clacking the ground. So, 14-point lead for Melbourne now in the half. Just got to think about this. Okay, we're just going to quick poll for the halftime poll. We'll just rub it in here. Just write this up here. There we go. Here is the poll. Obviously, 14 points down. Parramatta need to get a response here, but will they get the try first in the second half? Get your votes either yes or no. And we can definitely get to see what people think on that. I feel like they kind of definitely need to. If not, then... Because then you get the possibility there of possibly being a 20-point deficit if the Storm score first, which is definitely not what's wanted. So now just waiting here to see what does eventuate from the polls. If anyone's got any other halftime thoughts we could discuss, we could definitely have a look and very much start talking about it. Because, I mean, it's been pretty interesting. We've got a vote right here. We've got one vote saying that, yes, there will be the Parramatta Eels scoring first in this second half. It's 18 for Melbourne.
Every time I go in there, something's going on.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matilda's like 4-0.
Yeah, I did see that. Oh no, it's back. Oh my god, there's more of them. There's more Telstra people walking. There's more of them. They're all walking. They just need to go down to 12 men. Yeah, honestly, Jermaine, get Simbin again. Honestly. I did see the Telstra thing where they had, what's his name? Hectic Fred. That was really funny. So 3 votes in the chat, and all 3 saying that, yes, the Melbourne Storm will concede of Parramatta scoring first in the second half. I'm really good at saving my talking points in this. Everybody wants Parramatta to score first. It's really enticing. It's very good. It's very good to see, and hopefully they'll be able to get it done, but you don't really know. So, in terms of players, I've been very impressed with Tuikimi Kabika. I think it's been very impressive for the Storm off the bench. It's been really important to get that done. I've been interested to see how, in terms of Eels players, Katoni Katoga, I think, has done really well so far. I also think Penasini's also been pretty important. Pezzett, hasn't really been much of a factor that I think he should have been. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how Parramatta do respond with this. But yeah, it's just, you've got to be needing some type of form here. But yeah, I feel like Parramatta might come out of the sheds fine, but you just need... I'm just trying to think of what the Storm could possibly do, because if they can get the passing out, because there's not been... Meany hasn't really been much of a factor this game. It took a bit for Farlogo to start being comfortable in this game. So it's like, right, he kind of knows where he was, because there was a lot of confusion between him and Nick Meany in the early stages of the match in terms of trying to get who's catching the ball, who's going W half when the tackle's on the far left side of the field and that. So it's just hard to see, really. Eels have to score first, or it's a 13+ loss for sure. Yeah, definitely. It's just trying to have a look. Did I say in my prediction video, shameless plug, did I say Storm 13+, or did I say Storm 1-12? I'm just going to have a quick look at the channel. I'm pretty certain I said Storm 13+, or 1-12. Storm 1-12. Okay, that's fair enough. 6 votes have now come in for the poll. We have had one person says no, the Eels will not score first. But all 5 other votes say that they will. So never know. Still got a couple of minutes before half times is done, so we can get ready for the second half. So yeah, I feel like the Storm need to calm down. I'm going to have a quick look at the stats. I don't know how much of this is going to show on here. Maybe a bunch of it will. I just want to look at team stats. I want to see how much actually is showing up on the stream bit here. So there's the possession. Time possession, completion rate has been pretty important. 18 out of 23 completed sets for Melbourne. Only 61% completion there for the Eels. In terms of running meters and post-contact meters, it's all pretty much been the same, with only like a little bit more of an advantage to Melbourne. Tackle breaks, interesting set distance average, 34. It's pretty much bang on, but it's just Parramatta just getting an edge. But I think that's because of some of the big runs there by Yongi and Penasini, that one set. Offloads, receipts, yeah, it's all kind of usual. More kicks though by Melbourne. That's because they've been going through their sets more, because there's been a fair amount of points of where the Eels just haven't been able to get the tackles done. Effective tackling, Parramatta at 91%. One thing I've noticed is some of the Storm's tackles haven't been that great. Have caused a lot of missed some tackles being missed. 22-18, 22 in favour of the Storm. And then we got ineffective tackles, 11-1. That's a pretty interesting stat. Negative play, 5 errors to 8, 4-2 penalties conceded. So the referee is in favour of no one. So there's no, even as an obviously on report and sin bin. 3 changes used for 2, and then there's 1 head injury assessment. So yeah, but Jerome Hughes obviously very much important in the play. We'll just see who's voted now in this poll. So it looked like there was more that's come in. 7 votes now. 29% in favour of the Storm scoring first. So that means there must have been another vote for Melbourne. So that's good for them in terms of the polls. We're getting some decent polling numbers, to say the least, and pretty interesting stats-wise. But yeah, we just got to try to wait to see what does happen going into this second half. What kind of talking points is going to get made between Jason Riles and Craig Bellamy. So pretty much, I've just realising is at this current rate on the live NRL ladder, the Storm would be top of the table because the biggest margin is only 10 points, being the Knights over the Cowboys. So Melbourne could be top of the table by the night's end. I should actually have a look at NRL fantasy actually, because I think I've got a couple of Melbourne and Storm players. Oh, it's pretty good. Mitch Moses, he's got 20 points. Suafalogo's got 5. So it's just showing he hasn't been the greatest of halves for Falogo. Hopefully expecting a bigger second half from him. But yeah, you just don't know. So just waiting now. We're going through the final bits of the ads before the second half begins. So it would be Parramatta getting first possession of the ball, and Parramatta would be running screen right. They're playing the Telstra again. I remember it pretty much became a whole thing about the ad last year, because I remember it was the Storm Panthers. And for some reason during the halftime broadcast, it repeated like 6 to 8 times. I wasn't going to say it for the bit. I wasn't. So yeah, just any last minute votes, get them into the poll before the poll ends, just before the second half kickoff. Anyone's multis, how are they going? Mine's only got 1 of 4 legs done, which is a Parramatta player, so I just need Nick Meaney, Falogo to score, with the Storm getting the win. So I guess, so in terms of my voting, I would be voting no if the Eels would score first. So just waiting now for how this to go. We're getting close almost. Sorry, I just had a 1,000-mile stare there for a second. The voices started talking. Now we're almost there for the start of this second half. It's probably in the final ad bit here, so we should be all ready to go. So we're almost there. Right, almost there. Come on. You should commentate another league. I've thought about it, but I'd just be too biased, to be honest. To be honest, Mitch, it's like, it's a great young run by Dom Young, but Jesse Bennett absolutely running in, and he gets tackled 5 meters, but he's done well there. He's like, could possibly be done, but the problem is that the room's too echoey, and it's, I don't know. Oh my god, they've just made a big Bundaberg character there. And 9 votes have now come in now, so 2 more have come in. 67. I'm sorry. Percent have gone in favour of the Melbourne Storm to concede the first try, with the Eels scoring first. But 33% saying no. Melbourne will score first. Just waiting for this BCF ad to be done, and then we'll be ready for the second half. Right, yeah, we're almost there. We're about to broadcast now, so if anybody wants to get their voice in, this 6-man bench will be interesting. Yeah, it's quite weird because but you can only use 4 players. So if essentially it's more so you've got 2 18-mans, but then would obviously come in, obviously, if injuries were to arise, so. So Parramatta now coming back onto the field for the second half. So just waiting now for the Melbourne Storm to come out here as Parramatta now on the field. Try predictor, the Red Bull try predictor, 55 Fox AI. Should be shot 55% in favour of the Storm, more likely to get the first try. And here we go, the Melbourne Storm now running out onto the field, so we're getting close to the start of the second half. We'll be ending the poll right... Oh, someone just got in right as I clicked it. It got to 11 right at the nick of time. So 73% in favour of the Parramatta Eels getting the first try in the second half. Whoever got that in, that was 90 plus 7, that vote. Here we go, the Melbourne Storm now onto the field, waiting for the start of this second half as Parramatta will get first possession. Just trying to make sure that the door was shut and that. So here we go, Cooper Clark getting his first proper crack. He only came on for like the last minute or two of the first half. But now he will get proper in the mix for this match with the Eels. So the Melbourne Storm kicking off. They'll Storm running screen right. And it will be... No, the Storm are running screen left, sorry. With Parramatta getting first possession. So kicking off, and we are underway for the second half as the kick goes to Parramatta's right. It'll be run at the guts, and it'll be on the 20 for the first tackle for the Parramatta Eels. So Parramatta now getting their second tackle from one-ups play onto the 30 for the second. They'll spread it more now into the middle from the guts and just shy there. Jermaine Hopgood gets a different breakthrough there. Just shy of halfway for the third tackle. Now, pretty decent set so far here by the Eels as it's Dylan Walker who's now on the Storm 40 for the fourth. Now Moses feeds it up from the guts as that's Will Penasini who will get brought down 35 metres away from the try line here. Last tackle for the Eels. It's flicked off to Moses who goes for a high kick. Going to be pressure. And that's going to be a knock on there by Parramatta as Simonson tried to catch it, but he knocked it on under his legs, but he was facing the other way. So it is a lost forward. So right on the 10 here. Do you have a local amateur team in the Newcastle Hunter comp, mate? I don't exactly really have one because I didn't play Rugby League. I only played Rugby League for my school. There's a ruck infringement here for the Storm, who have their second tackle just past their 30. I guess the local club that I grew up with was Raymond Terrace. But now since I've moved, I'm not exactly sure. But it's mostly just who my mates play for. And they play for like a whole range of clubs. So and here we go. Here's Clark. Gets the run. He gets brought down on halfway for the fourth tackle. Munster getting the ball off there. Now 40 away from the try line here. Last tackle for Melbourne as we're now 2 minutes gone in this second half. Gives it off to Hughes. Hughes trying to find a gap, but he doesn't get a pass off. That's the last tackle, so Parramatta will be getting the ball on their 30 for the full set. So pretty decent field possession there, but a bit of a questionable decision there for Hughes to run as Brian Kelly gets the ball tackled on the first. On the 30. Parramatta definitely running at the line now. They've got onto the 40 for the second tackle of Simonson. Feeding it off to the right. And now the Eels now into Storm half. And it's going to... Oh, I thought the whistle went there. It's a ruck infringement. So Parramatta. Here we go. Big run by Katoga now. 35 away from the try line for the first tackle. Heard of Maitland Pickers. Yeah, definitely the Pickers. But I feel like if I do go for them, it'd be a bit glory hunter because they have won like the last 4 straight titles and last 3 straight minor premierships. Yeah, I'm very much a neutral advisor to the local comps as Maine Hopgood tries to get the offload off. It goes backwards and it's going to Jerome Hughes who picks it up inside the 30 for the first tackle. That's a massive chance gone begging for the Eels. With multiple set restarts, that's going to be a 0 tackle actually. It's Warbrick gets past the Storm 30 now for the first tackle. Now far logo gets brought down just inside the 40 for the second. Meany very quick running, trying to force a set restart here from the Eels as the Storm just keep running up the middle. Howarth now gets to the Eels half of the 40. Hughes now goes on the run. Can't get a big enough gap now. 30 away from the try line. Last tackle for the Storm. Munster with a kick up to the right-hand side. You had Russell on your multi. I did, yes. The only problem is I need the Storm leg to come in, so I need Storm to win, and then I need Suafalogo and Nick Meaney to score. So definitely got a half to do it, but this will be the type of situation where it doesn't happen. So Storm now on the 30 here for the... No, Eels, sorry, on the 30 for the third tackle. Run from dummy half... and De Silva. Moses there just not really knowing what to do there with the ball. Last tackle, they just get short of halfway as Pezzett with the kick. And the ball will be taken by Farlogo on the 10. Sorry about that. Tried to fight off the sneeze, so they pass it out to the left-hand side here, the Storm. As Moses Leo gets brought in just shy of the 40 for the first tackle. Still inside of the Storm's half. And I didn't realise we were actually behind a little bit there for some reason, so we're fixing that up here. So first tackle, they got a set restart. They're 30 away from the try line here. As Josh King brought down 20 metres away from the try line for the second tackle. So sorry for, it seems like 20 seconds has just gone out of nowhere, but it's just what's happened here. 15 away from the try line here for Melbourne. On the third tackle, now out to the left-hand side. Hughes to Munster. Flat ball. It doesn't work here. Tackle. Fourth tackle. 5 out. Storm now just trying to find something. Flat ball out to Cooper Clark. And Clark now just 2 or 3 metres away from the try line now. Last tackle for Melbourne. Flings it off to Hughes. Flat ball. That's a brilliant pass. And it's Joe Chan who goes over. And it's now 22 points to 4 with a kick to come. And that's just not what Parramatta needed. And just like that, Storm get the first try on the board. 6.5 into the second half. And just such a monstrous gap. I don't know what happened to Parramatta's left side there. Game over. It's very much like could be because Parramatta now just need to keep using all this momentum. Melbourne need to use all this momentum and just keep going to keep the game going more out of reach. Just a massive gap. Man, Joe Chan didn't even get touched. Just the easiest try possible for him. So there we go, 22 points to 4 now. The kick will be right near the other side of the post, so this should be a pretty decent kick. Well, a decently chanced kick because it's sort of near the centre, so it should be realistically 24 points to 4. So here we go, Nick Meaney now to make it 4 from 4 from the conversions. He's taking the step up and he slots it down the middle. It's now 22 points to 4 as we've now 8 minutes gone in this second half, and you just could possibly start seeing the floodgates start to open. It's just not what the Storm... Well, it's exactly what the Storm needed. It's what Parramatta didn't need. It was just driving up the middle on the the right hand side of Parramatta's defense. It just forced. There was like 3 players in one complete side of the ball, and it was just an absolute ridiculous there. So the kick goes inside the goal mouth, And here's right up the guts. There's Cooper Clark, and he gets brought down inside of the 20 for the first tackle for Melbourne. Can I change my vote and prediction? I can't reopen polls, unfortunately, mate. Sorry to say. Storm now just running up the guts here. Far logo almost breaking the line here, but he's been threatening with it. Right on halfway here for the fourth tackle. Held down by the jersey. And now run from dummy half here for Harry Grant. Gives it off to Hughes. Now to Far logo, trying to find a gap. He's teasing breaking the line here. He's very close. 30 out now from the try line. Last tackle for Melbourne. Hughes with the high kick. It's only going to go as far as the 10. The Storm have caught it, batted backwards. But it's Katoga who ends up getting the ball if it goes backwards. But the Storm, it's all joking about. Yeah, it's fair enough. It's Parramatta now just trying to find this. So I was trying to get back into this game as it's Sam Tuavaiti or it's Sean Russell. Looked white, so I'm assuming it's Iongi's now back on the field, so he did pass his HIA. So it's good to see here from the third. The last tackle kick there by Parramatta. So Far logo there takes the kick from the last tackle. It's for some reason, KO starts doing this like little jitteries that slowly take the game behind. So that's why there's like points where it's like, oh, I missed like maybe like a tackle or two because I'm just trying to get it back to as live as possible. So now the Storm here just shy of the 40 here for the fourth tackle is just trying to go up the guts. As that was the third tackle actually, so they're just shy of halfway now for the fourth. Let's run from the line here. Hughes trying to get the passes out going, but there's just not enough room here. It was just last tackle 35 away from the try line here. And it's a set restart anyways. So Harry Grant will get the ball. First tackle 30 metres away from the try line. So very much more of a chance for the Storm to get more pain inflicted on the Eels. The Takamani brought down for the second, 20 out. Another set restart as Clark runs up the guts. Clark's still going. He'll get brought down 5 away from the try line now. First tackle. Now the Storm now giving the ball off to Wishart. And Wishart will get wrapped up 5 away now. Second tackle as we're now 11 minutes gone in this second half. And Harry Grant tries to push and bum rush. And he gets over and he's got a double. And it's now 28 points to 4 with the kick to come. And the kick will be from right in front. So it'll be 30 points to 4. And the floodgates are starting to get open. And it's starting to get a bit dangerous. Now, if they could get the passes out to Far logo and Meany, I'd really appreciate it. But anyways, I mean, top 2 player to just run for, get the ball from dummy half and just crush over the line, and he ain't second. So Harry Grant getting it done, 28 to 4, 28 and a half remaining in this matchup, and I guess we have to start asking the question of at what point do we start talking about 50? Do we start talking about 50 points conceded? Does it happen? So the Storm will need to score 3 converted tries and then another try. And that's 10 tries from Harry Grant against Parramatta. This is just... Harry Grant's just a brilliant player. Can't be 50, surely not. Yeah, I think it'd be... If there was a little bit more time, maybe, but... I guess it's like you might need to start throwing up the questions a little bit, but you never know. So here we go. The kick from right in front here by Nick Meany. This to make it 30 points to 4. And he slots it. So definitely going into tomorrow's games, it'll be the Melbourne Storm live first place. So unfortunately, Australia will not be sleeping over a red and blue sky because the weather report's coming in major storm. Craig Bellamy still not impressed. Here we go. We're just waiting now for the kickoff here by Parramatta. Time 27:10 remaining in this game. And the kick will go to the right-hand side of the field. It's caught by Hughes. It will feed it off to Farlogo, then gives it off to Atakamanu. And Atakamanu will get brought down onto the 20-metre line for the first tackle for Melbourne. Now the Storm just right on the 30 here for the second tackle. And now Clark getting just shy of the 40 for the third. It's just showing how the momentum's still very much with the Storm in this matchup. And now Chan gets brought down just shy of halfway for the fourth tackle. Grant, Farlogo. Farlogo just can't find that gap, but he gets an offload off to Grant. They're slinging it off to the left-hand side still. As that is Lasardi now, 35 away from the try line. Last tackle for the Storm. Gives it off to Hughes. He goes for a high kick around the left-hand edge. There's going to be a lot of chases for it. That might be a knock-on by Iongi. And it will be. So, so it's now turned into a penalty for an offside. So it will be Parramatta's ball. No, it's penalty Melbourne, sorry, for an offside. My mistake. Oh, because Iongi's knocked it into the number 9, who was in an offside position, Riley Smith. So 15 out, full set of 6 from the penalty. Storm looking to put more pain on. We're not talking half. So first tackle now 15 away. Still more central. They'll go to the left. Watakamanu trying to burrow over the line, but he's 5 metres short now. Second tackle. Grant. Now to Munster. Munster goes for a spin. Gives it off to Grant. Grant tries to go for Joe Chan again. And Chan gets brought down 5 away from the line. Third tackle. Grant to Munster. Munster will get brought down 5 away. Fourth tackle. Now more onto the left-hand side of the field. Now Munster, flat ball to Atakamanu, but he'll get held up here. Last tackle here for the Storm. Grant, flat ball to Clark. Does he get it? No, he's held up in the air. We could have gotten a debut try for Cooper Clark, but he just gets held up. They're going to the video ref. I don't know what they're reviewing for because the ball goes nowhere. The ball doesn't go near the ground. He's grounded it. If the ankle of Dylan Walker wasn't there, that possibly could have been a debut try for Cooper Clark. Oh, very close. I think he might have lost it as well. Oh, so it's actually going to be a knock-on, so it'll be a Parramatta getting the ball. And that's just like as we go back to the livers, another mistake has happened, which has forced now the Eels to get the ball. So we don't know what happened in the lead of that 20-minute restart, but we're now back to live. So again, somehow the Storm with the ball, 30 away from the try line for the first tackle, so it was probably a knock-on by the Eels. Chan now running up the guts, and Chan will get brought down 20 away from the line for the second tackle. And now they're spreading it out now to the left. Farlogo getting out to the centre, and that's going to be another try to the Melbourne Storm. Onto their left-hand side, it's the number 4 of Moses Leo. And it's now 34 points to 4 with a kick to come. 24 points remaining. We might need to start thinking about 50. Just maybe. So passing it around from... It was Munster who gets the ball off to Suafalogo, who just gets the pass out to Leo, who splits the line from the centre and is just able to slide over the line to make it 34 points to 4. So huge chance here to possibly make it 50, but we're still just a little bit away from our multi-hitting. We just need Farlogo and Meaty to score, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be happening, unfortunately. Definitely still got plenty of time for it to be able to happen, but you never know. But there we go, 34 points to 4 here for Melbourne. I do think it's rather fitting that they're our first... Oh, really? Moses Leo, it's his first NRL try. Well, there you go. There we go, big moment there. Good on him. Probably made sense with the pop-off. So, okay, so if they get this conversion attempt, it'll be a 14 points needed to get 50. It'll be a repeat of last year's round 1. But there we go, Moses Leo getting the try. Here's the conversion attempt. Oh, Meany, don't do it to him. Oh, the perfect curlback. Oh, stop it. Stop it, Nick. Stop it. God, he's a good kicker. There we go, 36 to 4. He made it, obviously. If Leo could have... I know it was your first try, maybe. If you pass it out to your left, you had Nick Meany there, and you could have scored. But, yeah, okay. So 22 and a half now remaining in this game. It's 36 to 4 to Melbourne. Gee, I wonder who the momentum is with at the moment. So Parramatta haven't had a distinct momentum. They haven't had momentum on their momentum tracker since they were down a player. How does that make sense? Here we go. The Storm now with the ball. Kamika back on. And he'll get brought down inside of the 20 for the first tackle for Melbourne. Now the Storm now trying to spread it into the middle. So we're about like 30 and a bit seconds behind. So we'll probably miss a tackle. Not much. But there we go. Munster with the ball. And he will get brought down for the fourth tackle just shy of the 40. Grant, Farlogo. And Farlogo will get brought down on halfway here for the last tackle. I just need to keep back and keep going, so it's not like we're missing like an entire minute of football. Kick doesn't go as far, and a massive gap's open up. Chance with the ball. Chance trying to go himself. He gets an offload off. The Storm is still going. Clark gets the pass off. Kamika out to Munster, who kicks it, and that's surely going to be a knock on, surely. No, it's play on, and Parramatta get the ball out to the 30. My God, if Melbourne scored that, that'll be... Oh, hang on, Harry Grant's down. Oh, this is not good. He's immediately... Oh, no, is he telling the people to come on or not? But anyways, Parramatta attacking down the left-hand side of the field here. Getting a breakthrough down the line. Can they get the pass off? No, they don't. It's going to end up Storm ball on their 30, and they're still going to Storm. Here's Cooper Clark. Gets a immaculately flick pass off down to the right side. The ball... It's just end-to-end stuff here. And Harry Grant limping. He's now back on the field, but he's been taken off the field. He's immediately was limping, so in comes Wishart. Oh, it could be an ankle problem here for Harry Grant. But anyways, Watakamanu with the ball, and he gets brought down 30 away from the try line for the third tackle as we're about to enter the final 20 minutes of this match. Hughes lays it off to Chan, and Chan will get brought down 25 away from the try line. Oh, now Cooper Clark's there coming off the field. He's clutching at his ribs. Grubber here from Hughes. And Parramatta's end up with the ball, and it'll be wrapped up inside the 10 for the first tackle. It was an attempted grubber kick out to the left, which didn't work, but Storm players starting to go down their flies. You just had Harry Grant with his ankle, and he's on the sidelines. You've just had Cooper Clark coming off, clutching at his ribs. And now Parramatta breaking down the line. They've got a massive offload back near the 40. So the Eels now just trying to find anything. Paulo's now on the field, trying to find a line. If they just get the numbers out, they're still going with the offloads. Paulo's still running. He's at his 40. And there we go. There's finally the third tackle in that set. So now there's the Jermaine Hopgood, who gets held up on halfway for the 4th tackle. As we're now less than 20 minutes remaining in this matchup. The Eels now just trying to find something. Yongi gets brought down, 45 away from the try line. Last tackle. Brings it back to Moses. Moses with the high kick. Far Logo comes out to take it. And he does. And Far Logo just trying to find a gap, and he will get brought down on the 20-metre line for the first tackle for Melbourne. And now here's Warbrick running straight at Riley Smith. Oh, Harry Grant's taking his headgear off. So he's moving. He's putting pressure on it. So hopefully it's not as bad as what it could be. Kamika now with the run. Gets brought down on just shy of halfway now for the 4th tackle. 18.5 now remaining in this game. Wishart now is playing as dummy half. Now 45 from the try line. Last tackle. Munster gives it off to Hughes. Hughes kicking out to the right-hand side. And it's going to be taken here by the Eels. And it'll be wrapped up inside the 30 for the first tackle. So it just mental to think about the Parramatta's genuine only try, and the only part of the game where really the momentum was in their favour was when they were down a player. It's just weird now. Parramatta now springing it out to the right-hand side. 40 years, no premierships. Low, come on the cheats, make it 40. Oh, they could have good, nice bit of passing now here by Parramatta down the left-hand side. Gets wrapped up, 35 away now. Last tackle. Marcus. Is it 40 years? Would it be? Oh, shit, it would be too. Yeah, 1986. It would actually be 40 years. And the kick lets the bounce. Parramatta pass the ball back. And it ends up to Joe Chan, who gets wrapped up inside the 20 for the first tackle. Yeah, I did not realise it was 40 years. I can't really talk. The Knights have also got a bit of a premiership drought, the 25 years. No, Leo breaks the line here. And Moses Leo's on the run. He's chasing Yongi. He's trying to skin him. And he hangs on. He gets brought down 25 away from the try line here. 3rd tackle for Melbourne. Wishart gets the pass out to Far Logo. He's trying to find a get. He gets a kitchen chase. He's going to get there too. The ball bounces on the padding of the post and falls perfectly for him. And it's going to be a try to Suolawi Far Logo. And it's 40-4 with a kick to come. 16.5 remaining. That's just amazing. There was a big gap open. He's backed himself. So there we go. Suofalogo getting it done. But a massive big run there by Moses Leo. Gets the offload off. And Suofalogo just goes for the kick. And it perfectly bounces right on the post pads. And he gets it there. So 40-4. Right. In all seriousness, we just need Nick Meaney to score a try. And with this conversion attempt, because it's going to be right next to the posts anyway, so it's going to be 42 points to 4. But I mean, that try there just sums up how good everything's been falling for the Storm ever so far. And there we go. There's my goat right there. And hopefully that gets some good little bit of fantasy points there for that try. God, I love him. He's brilliant. He's brilliant, him. Can we just get a meanie try? This is all this stream is going to be now, just trying to ride home this multi. As Meaney now goes for the conversion to make it 42 points to 4. It's right in front. And he gets it. So we're 8 points away from a 50 bomb as well. With 15 remaining with the momentum going. Very much still possible. Okay, so they're talking about what happened with Harry Grant. They're just saying it's a major cramp in the hamstring. So it looks like it might not be nothing too major, but I guess it's just precaution. And also, the game's already won anyways. Like, I don't really see the Storm scoring 38 points. This would be the type of thing that Brisbane do on purpose and then try to come back and win it. Who's the SJ in the back? Oh, just some guy. Dubs. But here we go. 15 minutes remaining in this game and it's possible 50 bomb. And there's the kickoff. And here's Josh King. That's the first hit up and it'll be wrapped up past the Storm 10 metre line. And we're starting to get the run meters just completely blowing out here. Over 500 metres more here for Melbourne. And Melbourne have already broken the line here. So Takamanu somehow broken the line. And he'll get brought down 35 metres away from the try line for the second tackle. And it'll be a penalty to Melbourne. And I think it's a sin bin, actually. Yeah, Bailey Simonson's now in the bin for a professional foul for stopping him from playing the ball. So now it's going to go bad or worse. Now Parramatta down a player. But then again, they could start the comeback here. Who's your favourite Resi's player for the Medallion Bees? Ram Panthers a first grader. But somehow Takamani just breaks through the line easily. They weren't even showing it on the broadcast. Ronan. But yeah, we go. The Parramatta Eels now down to 10 as we refresh it to get it properly back live. And the Storm now trying to threaten down the left-hand side. So for those who've missed it, Bailey Simonson, Simbind. So for the next 10 minutes, play it down. But can the Storm keep on going? Josh King now right up the middle, third tackle. Storm now trying to go to the left. It's like a Manu. Appeals for a forward pass. Not been given. Fourth tackle. The Storm are looking to go to their left again. And it's a Wishart trying to dive from dummy half, but he will be held up away from the line now. Last tackle. They'll go to the left. Munster with the grubber. And it's going to be just falling perfectly to Atavalu Lasardi. And it's now 46-4 with a kick to come. We're going to get the 50, guys. And also, give it to Nick Meaney, please. Rugby League gods, please give the ball to Nick Meaney for a try. I command you. There we go. Just play down the line. Just Parramatta just completely, utterly out of this. Now 46-4 with the kick to come. Now only 2 points away from a 50 bomb. Basically back-to-back of what happened last time. So what's it like being so lame? I don't know. You should be asking Darbs, actually, Rowie P. But there we go. Everyone's scoring for the Storm. It's good to see. So less than 12 minutes remaining. Just waiting for the conversion attempt. 121 run meters for Lasardi. 28 tackles and he gets a try. Good on him. So it's about 7 or 8 minutes remaining with Parramatta being down a player for Bailey Simonson. Nick Meaney now with a conversion attempt from the sideline. He's 7 from 7 tonight. This to make it 8 from 8. So he's already got 14 points this game. Just from conversions. And I feel like he's deserved to get a try. Here's the conversion attempt from the sideline. Can he make it 8 from 8? Doesn't curl back enough, unfortunately, so he will be missed. So it'll be 7 from 8, so it will remain 46 points to 4. See, I just don't know what's happened with Parramatta. But yeah, Melbourne are just showing off their talent, their skill, and Melbourne is definitely still going to be a dangerous threat this season. Time pause now at 11 minutes 42. So now Parramatta go for the kickoff. Now just refresh to see if we get more live. First tackle on the 20. There for Kamika. Now Warbrick. I don't understand the Eels. Instead of improving their team, they signed Brian Kelly and Jack DeBella. That's a real head scratcher right there. I just don't know what's happened. It's like the same thing has happened like it was in round 1 last year. And there we go, Josh King, right the gut. So 6.5 minutes Simonson will be until he comes back on the field, which will be pretty much with like 5 minutes remaining here. Now the Storm now just threatening down the right. They fling it out to Nick Meaney. They're appealing for a forward pass, but the grubber kicked it now into the centre. Batted away down to the side, and Parramatta ends up with that's going to be knock on, surely. Yep, it was knock on by Parramatta. Parramatta just been scrambling. So it'll be a scrum feed 10 metres out now for Melbourne, and a real chance for 50 points to be put in. That is a forward pass. It's a forward pass, but it's like the way the ball was passed, it's projected forward. But yeah, just Parramatta just been absolutely defeated in this second half here. Give the ball to Nick Meaney. Please give the ball to Nick Meaney. Nick Meaney's actually playing the scrum here. Here we go. 10 minutes now remaining in this matchup as Melbourne now threaten to make it 50 points. Munster gives the ball to Hughes. Hughes, and it's a charge down. It'll be a knock-on, so it'll be another scrum feed, but more centrally in the field here for the Melbourne Storm. So there you go. So time's still ticking here, so we've got about 9 minutes remaining in this matchup. And they're going to go all the way onto the right-hand side here, so give you a chance to get a try here. So here we go. Melbourne, they'll go from right to left now. And the pass goes a bit begging, so Munster just hangs on to it, and we get brought down 20 away from the try line for the first tackle. Now, David Mawal runs centrally, and he'll get brought down 10 metres away from the try line now. Less than 9 minutes remaining. Now off to the left here. Hughes to Kamika. Again, held up 5 away now. Third tackle for the Storm. They're going to go to the left. Munster. Leo gets brought down now. 10 away, but it's a set restart. Then inside the 10. Munster now with the ball. Gives it off to Josh King. King gets it offload for Munster. Munster fending off. He's trying to find out where he's going to go. He's trying to find a line, but he'll get brought down 5 away from the try line now for the second tackle. Melbourne has the ball rushing clip farm. Kamika running up now. 5 away from the try line here. Third tackle for Melbourne. Getting it off to the left-hand side. Hughes. Ball's bobbled backwards. That's going to be a knock-on by Melbourne. That'll be a changeover. And it's actually going to be a penalty here for Parramatta. So at least some pressure's finally getting off them. So can they stop the 50 from happening? Just had to fix the to get it live here. So Parramatta get the kick. Just past the 40 now for the first tackle. And just shy at 17 here. It's Parramatta now, second tackle on halfway. So about 3 minutes remaining, about 2-3 minutes remaining before Parramatta get a man advantage. Get their disadvantage fixed. So Simonson back on the field. 40 away now, third tackle. Spin down to the middle is Paulo. Paulo will get wrapped up. 30 away now, fourth tackle. Preston Conn set to come on now for the Storm. Apparently it's another debut. Parramatta batted it backwards here as it's now Sean Russell with the ball. It'll get brought down on the 20 here. Last tackle here for the Eels. They'll go for a cross-field kick. And it's taken by Nick Meaney. And Meaney will have it. He'll be caught right just past the try line. And Moses still whinging. And now just Storm just going to be running through the sets here. Leo. And there we go. Preston Conn now on the field. As that is Lasardi. Brought down inside of the 20 now for the third tackle. Oh, it's Will Warbrick actually. He's being a little bit slow to get up. Maybe in a high shot here, possibly. Warbrick's back standing up. He's bleeding from the nose here. So what happened there? It was a little like... I'm trying to think of who it's a Parramatta player who's come in and accidentally bopped it on there. 35 minus 5 line. He should be right at the moment. Melbourne still have the ball. So Warbrick now in the blood bin. Third tackle. And Warbrick's been sent off for a head injury assessment, so that should be the end of it. So the Storm now just waiting. Here we go. Another play back on is Lasardi. I think he only just came off the field. And now he's back on. So now the Storm brought down to the... So minute 30 remaining here. So this will be the last set the Storm will have with a player advantage. King off to Hughes. Now to Farlogo. And they're down the left, the right hand side here. Parramatta need a chase back to him. Can we get some support? Nothing happening there. Last tackle, 25 away from the try line here. Hughes. They just need to keep passing it out to the left here. Munster. And Connor. It's last tackle. Preston kind of a little bit confusing there, but he... A little bit of miscommunication there, and it's a just changeover on the 20-metre line here for the Eels. 11 line breaks for Melbourne in this game, only to 3 of the Eels. And it's a set restart here for Parramatta as they get on the 30 for the first tackle, as we're now coming down into the final 5 minutes of this matchup. And Brian Kelly gets brought down past the 40 for the second tackle. As Parramatta there, Jordan DiPaolo gets brought down just shy of halfway for the third, as we now try to get it more back live. Parramatta now 30 away from the try line for the fourth tackle. They're spreading it out to the right hand side. Parramatta still going. It's the number 17 of De Silva. Last tackle kick from Parramatta. Kick to the left hand side of the field. And Russell takes it, but he's brought down about a couple of metres short of the line. So it'll be a changeover now for the Storm. So anyways, just going to let time go out slowly, but surely there's going to be a little bit of momentum. Yeah, let's score 50. Why not? Come on. But the Storm now, they're doing all they needed to do. I think it's Jack Howarth with the ball. He gets brought down past the 10 for the first tackle. And now the Storm now second tackle on their 20. 3.5 now remaining. Now to the number 17 of Devon Moale on the 30. Munster to Hughes. Trying to find some gap here as Lasardi now gets an offload. Wishart with a dummy, and he's broken the line. He's got Kamika there for the support. And he gets the pass out to Munster. And Munster gets the ball left to Farlogo. And Farlogo gets a double. And it's happened. 50 has been scored on the Parramatta Eels. And that's just how good the Storm is. Not going to lie, I don't want to piss off the people in my bet with mates, but I was actually considering just having... Suala Falago to score 2 tries, but unfortunately didn't eventually happen. But there we go. The Melbourne Storm have put 50 on them, and it's just been an entertaining game. Imagine if Kamika actually got that try in there. But Wishart breaks through the line, gets the offload to Kamika, then gets the ball out to Munster, Then it's a double wrap-up. He just gets an offload off to Farlogo. 100 on 35 minus 35.5. How much was that paying Rush and Click Farm? Because that's a devious little win. So I guess the only hope I can really have here is that Nick was even odds. I did it live. All right. Yeah, nice. Well, brilliant work there. So just need to try to hope somehow that Nick Meaney gets a try somehow, but I don't think it's going to happen. They've done the job. They've done 50, and it's right on halfway. So the kick should be right in front, so it'll be 52 points to 4. So back-to-back round 1 games against the Storm, and it's back-to-back conceding of 50-plus points for Parramatta. So you know what this means? This match should be in Vegas. Because that's just how it's kind of been. Eels was like a buckle of dick. Was minus 15.5 at half, and I was scared. And then the dumb move I did at 35.5 because Eels looked like the worst team ever today. Yeah, it's just never really been in it besides like the opening couple of minutes, but it's just showing the absolute talent Melbourne has. And all I'm going to say is I'm glad I saw for logo. Well, my fantasy, I'm just happy for that. And God, he's good. So here we go. Parramatta now waiting to just kick off. Surely just get the ball to Nick Meaney. I know he's already scored like 16 points just from conversions, but come on. And there is the kick by... Is there another game that's it today? Yep, that's it. There's 2 tomorrow, then there's 2 Saturday, and then there's 1 on Sunday. But yeah, this will do it for tonight for the NRL. Now, Melbourne now just trying to run down the clock. Come on, just get another chance. We're entering now the final 2 minutes. I'm just saying it because I'm selfish and I just want my multi to hit. They comment at like 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 6 a.m. here. Oh, so were you in Florida, USA? Good to see. I guess I'm just trying to think in terms of calculate. There is an English rugby league game, but I don't know if that's broadcasted in America. But there should be one at some point during the game. It's I think it's more better timing. Okay, 35 away from the try line here. Last tackle, just like NRL. Yeah, it's fair enough. It's good to hear. Peter Volandi's dream is starting to work somewhat. Last tackle kick here for Parramatta. That's a great take there by the Eels. Onto the 10 to 90 seconds. Unfortunately, this multi probably won't happen. The other rugby is crazy. They just take over. Just take over every time. Yeah. Good to see. It's yeah, we're just waiting here now for Parramatta. Third tackle. They're on their 20 with about a minute remaining in this matchup. They're just going to try to keep running the clock down to just end this night quicker. Simonson gets brought down past the 30. Penalty here for Parramatta. So, yep, the Storm will not get any bit of the ball, so the multi's dead. It's all right. 1 leg off. So here we go now. It's 36 seconds remaining. They're just not going to... They're probably going to have maybe 1 or 2 tackles here, Parramatta. And there we go. Right on halfway. 25 seconds remaining. Well, 2001, round 1 was the last time the Melbourne Storm have lost in the first round. And last season they put 50 plus on Parramatta to kick off their campaign. And they've done it once again as we enter the final 10 seconds. The Melbourne Storm, I did think there was possibility they could drop off a tiny bit, but they've just shown why you absolutely can't do that. As the siren will sound, Parramatta still trying to get a try out. Ball goes into touch. The Melbourne Storm have won 52 points to 4 at full time. And yeah, just massive dominant performance from Melbourne. It's kind of mental to think about it. The Storm have still not gone to Vegas yet. So there we go. Looks like definitely Melbourne Storm now top of the table with a pretty distinct for and against of about 48 points. Yeah, so there you have it. I guess in terms of final thoughts, it's probably the best way to explain it. So we'll be doing the 2 NRL games tomorrow, which is the New Zealand Warriors, Sydney Roosters, and Brisbane Broncos, Penrith Panthers. We're doing none of the NRL games on the Saturday, but we are doing the Sunday game, which is the South Sydney Rabbitohs and the Dolphins. So make sure to tune into those. We'll also be doing a couple of Super League games. There's one tomorrow morning, Wakefield Trinity versus Hull FC. So if you're interested in that, you can join us there. But anyways, thank you all very much for watching. First actual NRL round of the regular season done. So it's been enjoyable. Thank you all for watching. And